Welcome to the Engineering Emotions Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wink. Today, a very special episode. It's more of an episode of celebration, celebrating the launch of my first published book, available on Amazon now. I am co-author with, I believe, 22 other amazing coaches, individuals. It's Activate Your Life, Volume 3. It's got 23 exercises to help you transform your life. Mine is all about how you can bring your future vision into a reality now. I'm not going to go too much more into that because today's episode is going to be my first dipping into the well of history. I've done 75. This is episode 76. So time to do a little best of where I'm going to go into the archives and play you the episodes that were related to the exercise that I have in this book, all the way back from February of 2021. It's going to be back-to-back because this was, I believe, my first and only two-parter, and I'm just going to combine them together for your listening pleasure. It's about the most dangerous word and, more importantly, how to use it. Because, spoiler alert, if you, want to actually, be surprised, the most dangerous word is why. Why is that? Well, why don't you just listen and find out? If you want the book, go to Amazon.com. There'll be a link in the show notes. But since this is my first book, the easiest way is go to Amazon, search for my name, Justin Wink, W-E-N-C-K, and it'll be the only book that I am associated with it. And, order it. And if you order it and read it, please rate it 5 stars. It really helps, get the word out. And that's what is most important, is getting these exercises into people's hands, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, so that they can make them part of their lives and get the transformation in the lives that they want. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for myself. And that's what I want for as many people on this planet as possible. So with that said, go get the book. Shameless plug. Tell your friends. Forward this. And enjoy. Good day. Welcome to the Engineering, Emotions, and Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wink. Today, very, very important topic, something you might not have considered. How is impacting everything that you're trying to accomplish in life? There is a secret word that is undermining all of your efforts, everything you're trying to do, because this one word that you probably use every day, and you probably don't even know the number of times that you're using it, whether it's conscious or unconscious. Once I bring this word to your attention, you are going to just go, oh my gosh, this has been one of the big things. So you're going to pay attention. You're going to find out how, not necessarily easy, but just how this permeates. And then once you're aware of it, you're going to be able to start to work with it. So I'm going to share with you what the most dangerous word is that's in your vocabulary, and the gotcha that is preventing you from seeing how this is impacting you in such a really, really deceptive way, because we all do this. And it's something that people just say all the time. And the other thing is, a lot of people aren't even conscious that they are doing it. So that's why I really encourage you to listen very carefully to this episode. And I'm going to be recording these a little bit early because I'm getting ready to go on a self-meditation retreat where I'm found a little place out on some nice acreage, and I'm just going to be kind of on my own, detach, and really just get some time to be in silence and with myself, not be sort of the world, just be living in the world. And so when I get back, I'm sure I'm going to have some really great stuff to share for you. But right now, I got some really good stuff to share on the most dangerous word. And you might be asking, Justin, what is the word? That's not it. It's not what. Now, this can be a little bit like the Abbott and Costello who's on first routine. I'm not sure, was this like the 30s or the 40s, where it seems like who's on first? And exactly. No. What I want to know is who's on first. Yes, exactly. What's on second? I don't care. I want to know who's on first. Well, it's who. Well, what? What? No, what's on second? I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know who's on third. So this is not a who. This is not a what. This is not even a how. This is something that you might not have known before, but now you're going to know really, really easily. It's going to be really easy to spot. The most dangerous word that you have in your vocabulary is why. Now, why is why so dangerous? Because when we ask our mind a question, it inherently goes to work to get us the answer. This is why, have you ever had the occasion where you're talking with someone and you want to remember the name of a movie, but it just slips. It's got that guy, Nicolas Cage, and he's in a plane, and Steve Buscemi's there, and there's this really creepy scene with a little girl, and you can't remember the name for the life of you. You know all about the movie except the title. And then you go about, you let it go, and you're talking about, the hummus, how fantastic it is, but you prefer, red pepper hummus over this garlic hummus that you got. And then all of a sudden, boo, Con Air. The movie was Con Air. Why? Because your subconscious was at work digging through your memory banks to pull up that answer that you put to it previously. Now, why is the question why so dangerous given that fact? Because we have to be very careful with what types of questions are we asking ourselves? Because when we ask the question, we are going to get the answer. And this is really explained really well in this fantastic book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. This is by Shem Helstetter. This has been around for a while. Basically, it just goes into depth of how we all have these scripts that we're playing day in and day out. And what's worse is that we didn't even consciously write the script. And often this script is going to contain these horrible, horrible why questions like, why am I such a failure? Why do I feel so depressed? Why are relationships so hard? Why does work just suck so much? Why am I so stressed? So if phrases like these are part of your script, and chances are it is, and you might not even realize it because it's just become background noise into your mental chatter, that you're putting these questions to yourself and you are answering it. And all of these questions presuppose that something is true that you likely do not want to be true. So like when you ask, why am I such a failure? It assumes that it's a fact that you are a failure. And now the mind is simply trying to find out the supporting information to support that belief, which is not really a fact, but if you find enough information to support it, it becomes true to you. And I've seen this in myself, because, I've recently had, depressive thoughts, and it'll slip in where I'm going like, oh, why is life so hard? Why does nothing work out? And then my mind starts coming up with the answers. It's like, well, because you don't have any discipline. Well, because, this is what your parents taught you, and this is just what it's going to be. And, I've seen other people do this. I saw my dad. I'm sure he does this because I recently, went to visit my parents in Orange County to try to understand, some of the whys of where I came from, and more on that in just a little bit. But one of the things that my dad texted me after I had left was he sent a real dramatic text to me saying like, oh, to the effect of, sorry, I'm such a failure of a father. And I'm sure that whether he's conscious or not of it, the question of why is he such a failure of a father is probably part of the script that he repeats often and often. And so we're all humans. We all have like things that'll come up that can, support any of these questions. So, just like there's any number of things. But if you were to ask a higher quality question, like, why am I such an amazing father? Then you'll also get a ton of supporting information like that. Like, oh my gosh, my kids like always had food on the table. My kids, felt comfortable enough to be able to disagree with me. Oh, my children were able to, get really high levels of education, and they're able to get jobs and bring in money. So depending on the question that we're asking depends on what facts we're going to get in return. And what do you want? Do you want supporting information about, how horrible your life is or how great it is / could be even better? So one of the things that people often get hung up on with learning that why is so dangerous and so destructive into getting where we want to go is they just get, Justin, I got to know why. I got to know why I am the way that I am. I want to know why that the world is the way that it is. I want to know why, the person that I want to be with treats me the way or doesn't ignore me or gives me too much information. I just want to know why. And to that, I ask you, why? Why do you want to know why? Because play this out. Does knowing why ultimately change anything? So one of the reasons why I went back to go and visit with my parents was one of the things that I felt called to do was to sort of just get a history of my family and, where they came from, just get some of the facts on the table and understand the story of, where does my dad lie and, with amongst his brothers and sisters and, where did his parents come from? And same thing on my mom's side, and then just try to understand, well, where were they coming from? And it definitely was helpful to, get that empathy and realize like, yeah, they had challenges, they had difficulties. And there was one story that my mom was kind of telling me. It was about, I must have been, between 1 and 3. And that's the other thing is people's memories start to get really fuzzy and you're not necessarily going to get the truth because everyone has a different recollection. There were times where I'd ask my dad one thing and my mama something else, and they didn't really line up. But it's not that one was lying and one was telling the truth. Just we all filter things through our emotions and our experiences and our current awareness. And sometimes we're just not paying attention, right? Like, this was, 30, 40 years ago. So it wasn't like they were on the iPhone, but that we've, as humans, have been amazing at coming up with distractions to distract us from whatever might not be what we really want to be thinking about. Feeling overwhelmed by the daily grind? Imagine if you could pause, reset, and truly connect with a calmer, more fulfilled you. It's not just a dream, it's absolutely possible. Hi, I'm Justin, and I invite you to discover the life-changing techniques in my book, Engineered to Love. Right now, I'm offering a free chapter complete with guided audios that have already helped so many people find peace amidst the chaos. These aren't just any techniques. They're transformative practices designed to help you love yourself and engage deeply with the present moment, without even having to close your eyes to the world around you. So join us at engineeredtolove.com/sample and access your free guided session. It's time to bust the busyness and embrace the joy, ease, and love in your everyday life. Don't wait. Start your journey to a more relaxed and recharged you today, because you deserve to live a life you love. Visit engineeredtolove.com/sample. See you there. And why is a really great distraction from what is and what would you want it to be. So if you were to know why, what would that change? So one of the events that really stuck out, as I was telling you, that my mom mentioned was at some point I just got this inkling that, well, maybe something happened to me when I was like 2. I don't know what. Somewhere around there, plus or minus a year, right? Who knows exactly? And she told me one story of, I think, her and my dad must have been out for, something, date night, I don't know. And they had left me with a babysitter's house or whatever. And she said she'd came in and that I wasn't easily available for whatever reason. I didn't, come running. I'm going, mommy, so good to see you. That she had to go scour around the house and found in a bedroom, I was hiding under a bed looking really, really scared. So there's a little bit like, whoa, what happened? And I realized it doesn't matter what happened because lots of stuff happens, to all of us. And if I knew that something specific happened, what necessarily would that do for me or anybody? Because other than just being sort of an intellectual curiosity, knowing if something horrible, and maybe nothing horrible really happened. Maybe a noise in the house spooked me for whatever, because I was, a sensitive 2-year-old. Who knows, right? So knowing why things are the way they are, it doesn't change what they were. It doesn't change how they are, and it doesn't change how things can be. In fact, it's actually worse, because by asking why are things like they are, you're just repeating your past in the present. So you're perpetually having what you've already had by asking why is it the way it is. Your subconscious just answers, and then you get what you've got, and you will not get what you haven't had, because you're not asking a question which opens up to the possibility of what you have not had yet, which requires a different type of question. And I don't think we're going to get to it today, because I really want to keep these episodes sort of like bite-sized, like little chunks for you to like nibble on and go, that's good. And I also want them actionable. So I want so you can listen, and I want so you can get something and take it away, because I really want you to have less stress in your life. I want you to have better connections, better relationships, and I want you to have that impact in your world. And if you're busy asking, why is it just not working out for me? You're not going to be able to make it work out for you. So how do we counteract this horrible question of why that can permeate our thoughts and basically overrun our emotions with all this sort of like negative stuff if we're not asking, we've got these scripts. So the first step is got to become aware. You got to start noticing the thoughts. So if you're not feeling like so hot, like you're just like feeling a little down, or maybe a little angry, or maybe even physically sick, or there's something hurting, start paying attention and noticing what kind of question might be coming up, and almost on autopilot, just like, oh, why is this so hard? Or why am I such a fuck up? Why is she always annoying me? Why is he just seem to be such an idiot? So just start to be aware. So that's step one. And so you could even just spend like a day looking out for your whys. Because I don't know. I'm laughing because so often you hear like, well, you got to know your why in doing something. Like what's motivating you. Why do you want to start your own business? Why do you want to be like the best engineer in the world? And so that's starting to get into the more high level, like going towards something. But if we don't take care of this sort of underlying why that's cutting us off at the knees, that why isn't even going to have a place to take hold. So this is really, we got to be aware of the rocks that are in our soil, and we got to like start getting rid of these. So maybe you've identified some, such as like, why am I such a failure? And basically there's an assumption that you are a failure, and now you just want to know the supporting information. You're asking yourself to come up with a case against you. And the brilliant being that you are, you will find so many reasons of why that is true. So the trick here is to amend the question as soon as you notice that the question has been asked. So, because one of the things that in What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, a big part of that is to sort of like recreate new scripts and things like that. And so that you basically program yourself with helpful things that you'll be muttering, sort of unconsciously. And that can be, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying I've tried it. It is challenging. And this thing I'm about to share with you, it's a game changer. I learned it from Michael Burnoff, which is basically, it's kind of like jujitsu or kung fu, one of these martial arts. It's a mental martial art where basically you're going to utilize that negative energy to your advantage. You're just going to like take the wind out of its sails. So you might hear like, why are relationships so hard? Then you just go, except for when they're fun. So you've taken the energy away from that destructive, why are relationships hard? And you've appended, except when they're fun. And Does that question even make sense? No, but that's way better than the why are relationships so hard? And then it's like, well, because you were always a shy person, you're physically, could be a little bit more attractive, and you just pick bad people to be around. Like, that's the kind of stuff you're going to get when why are relationships so hard? But when you append, except when they're fun, blank space. Now you can do and think whatever you want. So let's do a couple more of these. So why am I such a failure? Except when I'm not. Why am I so out of shape? Except when it's easy not to be out of shape. Why does work suck so much? Except for when it's super easy to be at work. So get aware, start to notice your own whys that are subtly, silently destroying your dreams. That's what they're doing. And then once you're aware of kind of maybe your top 4 or 5, the whys that are fucking your shit up, what can you amend to sort of like take the power out of that? And I think that's where I'm going to end today's episode, because I've got even more advanced use of whys. So this is just the why defense, but we got to get on offense. We need to use why for our own benefit. And that's what I'm going to get to in the next episode. So hit me up. Make sure you're subscribing. If you love this show, rate me 5 stars or whatever the max is on whichever platform. If there's something that could be done better, please don't rate me low. I don't even know how... I don't know how to come back from that. No, not emotionally. Emotionally, I'll be fine. But, just let me know. So find me on Facebook, Justin Wenck, WENCK. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Get a hold of me. Let me know what could be done better. What are some topics you're interested in? And make sure that you're subscribed so that you can get the exciting conclusion of how to use the most dangerous word, which is why. All right, thank you and good day. Welcome to the Engineering Emotions Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wenck. Welcome to the stunning conclusion of what has become a 2-part series on the most dangerous word. And if you listen to the last episode, which I highly suggest, if you haven't, stop this right now, go find it, find the previous episode, make sure to listen to that, because I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So you're going to want to be all caught up. If you're all caught up, welcome back. It's good to have you. So you now understand that when you used to ask why something isn't the way that we want it to be, all it does reinforce the way that we don't want it to be. So the question you might be asking is, how can I make sure that I'm using this very dangerous word? Because remember, danger is all about how something is used, right? Like when you're a kid, they say, stay away from underneath the sink because there's dangerous chemicals there. Yet once we grow up and we're a little bit more adult, we know that those, yes, they are dangerous if used incorrectly, but they are very powerful chemicals and agents that can do beneficial things when used correctly, right? Like, so, that bleach cleanser. If you, going to open that up, take a drink. Yes, it will kill bacteria, viruses, but it will also kill all the cells in your body. So don't drink bleach, no matter what any current or former elected official or whatever tries to tell you. Just don't drink bleach. Do not do it. But if you want to get your whites whiter, you want to make sure something is super duper sterilized, bleach is a very powerful, helpful, substance, right? So it is all about how does it get used. So if you did follow along last week and you did, even if you only tried it for, maybe 5-10 minutes, you probably noticed that there are some whys in your life that are keeping you back, So, and I taught you how to take the wind out of the sails by sort of appending something to take, the sting out of it. So it almost just becomes nonsensical. Like, well, why am I so depressed except for when I'm happy? Why is it so hard to find a good friend except when it's easy? Now we're going to get a little bit more advanced, and we're going to actually start to create the life that we want by using why. So this is, these are the advanced concepts. This is the extra special ninja training, right? So, and I'm recording this, a little earlier before it lands. It doesn't really matter, because actually probably when this comes out, I'll just be coming out of my meditation retreat, and there's going to be even some more cool stuff. But I really wanted to make sure that you guys get, the consistency of things to continually help improve your life, to have less stress, more powerful relationships, and have more impact with the type of work you do. You don't just want to be working for a paycheck and waiting for the weekend. You want to be waking up with some passion and some excitement. And if you just haven't been doing that as much as you'd like, that's what this podcast is for. And I'm going to explain why is part of how you can have that happen. So there's some things that you want in life, right? You want to maybe have some more money, not just for the sake of having more money, but you want to be able to do the types of things that you want to do so you can have the experiences. You want to have that travel. You want to be able to have those connections with the people that you actually care about, that you feel like you can just be yourself and share the experience. You don't have to worry about what they're going to think. And you want to do it while feeling and looking good. There's a whole dream life that you want to make a reality. And look, that might not be the life you have now. And let's get honest. Let's get real. It's not going to be the life you have tomorrow either. But it's amazing what we can do in 2 to 3 years. I've seen this with my own history. I mean, even maybe just this podcast is a good example. I've been doing this podcast for well over a year. And if I compare to that first podcast to how I'm doing it now, I'm having so much more fun. The quality is so much better. The audience is growing and growing, and I'm helping more and more people. And did it happen overnight? No, it didn't. But I set this out a while ago. And so when we start to envision what we want in the next few years, there really is no limit. I defy you. I mean, if you really don't want what you want, then you're going to find a way. But really, you're just proving my point that whatever you want is possible. So if you want to not want what you want, done. Easy. You're a winner. You made it. But if you actually want to be bold, be courageous, and dare to dream and say, you know what? I don't want to have to work in a cubicle anymore. Or maybe you want a cubicle, but you want it with a great view overlooking Vancouver, because it's gorgeous up there, Vancouver, Canada. Dare to dream. And now how are we going to get it? So one of the reasons I said that the why is so dangerous is because whatever you're asking, it presupposes that that's already true and that you just want the supporting information. So what if we use it to ask some lofty questions, which presuppose that the life you want, the way of being that gets you to what you want, that is already true. It's just needs a little bit more support, and your mind can just fill in that support. So you might be thinking, Justin, this is a little bit like affirmations, isn't it? Where I'll just repeat it over and over again. Like, we'll go with money, even though fundamentally money is a means for most people to get to something else. It's still something that, is a necessary thing. So an affirmation would be saying something like, I have money. I have money. The trick with affirmations is, and they require often a lot of repetition over and over again in many, many ways, is because fundamentally it sets up a little bit of an argument in our mind. Because try this with me. And Bill Gates, this might not apply to you. Jeff Bezos, this might not apply to you. But for most of us, just try to. I have so much money. Did you hear that slight little response of like, no, you don't. You've got some bills, and you get annoyed whenever you have to pay them because you would rather have more money. So these these affirmations, when stated that way, our mind can dispute it. And we're often very used to disputing it. And so we're really, really good. So that's why it requires a lot of discipline, dedication to continually repeat that. Whereas these lofty questions, and I believe this comes from Marissa Peers. I might be wrong. I got this from seeing Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mind Valley at Mind Valley Live. Just a little over a year ago. It was end of February of 2020, before all of the lockdowns and stuff happened. So I got to see him talk about these lofty questions, where it's effectively a combination of a bit of an affirmation, but you incorporate why. So instead of "I have money," why is it so easy to have money pile up in my life? So it presupposes that it's easy for money to pile up in my life. And then now the mind is just trying to give supporting information. So it's going to remind you of that time that you were just walking and you found a $5 bill. Like that was crazy. Or like you'd forgotten that you sent in that rebate request. Remember rebates? Like I haven't seen one of those in a long time, but I used to do rebates. And you get that check in the mail for $35 just out of nowhere. And just your mind will recognize all the times that money just kind of like piled up and came to you. And the more you ask the question, the more support and the more it's likely going to happen. So I've got a lot of examples for you guys of how you can do these. And so you'll start to get the gist, and then you can just make up your own for whatever type of life that you want to have. So again, this utilizes the basically the oh boy, I lost my train. So a lot of people are familiar with the like The Secret, that basically like if you want it, you'll get it. And a lot of people have done that. They don't get what they want, because really the universe doesn't give you who you want. The universe, it reflects back who you are. So if you are someone who is full of love, the universe will give you love. If you are someone who's full of abundance, the universe will give you abundance. And this is something that I've literally done, 30-day trainings on these topics and stuff. So I'm not going to get into that. But what these questions are doing is that they are helping to shift your identity so that you can be the person that gets what you want. So if, like I said, if we're talking money, why is it so easy for me to attract, multiply, and keep money? It presupposes that you are a person where that is a fact, that we're now like considering that is your identity, is someone who money just comes, it multiplies, and it stays with you, which might be contrary to your previous identity, which has been maybe someone where money comes in and it goes out, or someone who it's been hard to get enough money, or someone who there's never seems to ever be enough. So those are sort of identity components of money, of who you might feel like you are at a core. And we want to shift that so that you can get what you want. So you want to think, okay, what do I want in 2 to 3 years? And money is really just a means. And most people, they want to get to bliss or feeling happiness. So a good lofty question related to that is, why am I always surrounded by bliss and happiness no matter what? Time. Like, a lot of people are like, I don't have enough time. I wish I had so much time. So how about asking yourself, why am I able to do so much in so little time? Like Elon Musk, that guy's got the same 24 hours, 7 days a week that you and I have, yet I don't even know if I have time to read all the tweets that guy tweets out. That's my current perception. But if I was to probably take on his thoughts of time, why is he able to do so much in so little time? I'd probably be able to be a tweet machine like that man as well. Love, connections. Why am I always surrounded by love and amazing people whom I'm deeply connected to? Another one. Why am I so brilliant, so genius, and so able to tap into source for instant inspiration? Because wouldn't you like to be a creative person that's just able to put forth into the world like beauty and amazingness and innovation? So that question of why am I so brilliant, so genius, and so able to tap into source for instant inspiration, that is money right there. And by money, I mean happiness. Some other ones. Why does the universe always have my back? So some people think that this is a fact, that the universe has your back. That is not a fact unless you are someone who has the identity that things are taken care of for you, then it does. But many of you are there saying like, bullshit, all these horrible things happen to me because you believe, why do bad things happen to me? And you've got your reasons. I'm sure that they're listing off through your brain. So I'm going to say, why do bad things happen to you except for when they don't? Why does the universe always have your back, my friend? And if you keep asking yourself that question, more often than not, things will work out much, much better. Because ultimately, we never know, is something good or is it bad until it plays out. And, we actually don't know how anything's going to play out over the long haul, in the next 5 years, 10 years, our lifetime, lifetimes of our children, children's children, cosmic time, probably all going to be okay. Why do my dreams and goals come to me with such ease and speed? Why am I so good at taking care of my health? Why do I have such a clear vision of what I want for my life? Why do I become healthier and more attractive as I age? Why am I surrounded by so much beauty? Why is my life filled with so much fun and adventure? Why is it so easy to turn any situation into an opportunity for joy, love, or growth? Why am I always surrounded with love? Why does money pile up in my life? Why am I so bold? Why is it so easy to create my own lofty questions to craft the life I've always dreamt of having? So I'm hoping that with those examples that honestly, it probably captures, everything you'd likely to have, but you can really make it as specific or as general for any type of thing that you're really trying to go for. And this is how why can be used to your benefit. So instead of why being dangerous and destructive to your dreams, you're probably starting to see and feel a little bit better about why life can be easy and even fun to go towards what you're looking to do, right? So I'm really glad that you've been here with us in this two-parter, first two-parter I think I've done on this podcast. And again, hit me up, find me on social media, Justin Wenck, WENCK. Remember to subscribe and rate us 5 stars or the max, whatever, if you're enjoying the show. If you're not, please find me on social media, give me the feedback personally, and gonna, do what I can to address it, because I really am here to serve you guys and make sure that you can have less stress, have more impact with what you do with your work life, and have the relationships that you desire and treasure, and can have more time to be around those fabulous, fabulous people. So that's it. And thank you and good day.